Hello, this is just a quick video showing how to best farm the boss kills needed for the Refractory Warrior Triumph from Solstice of Heroes. This triumph requires you to get 100 boss kills during Prism Day in the EAZ. Firstly, none of the mini bosses count for this triumph. They need to be bosses, not mini bosses or mages, so it doesn't matter how many mini bosses you kill in each EAZ unless you want the chest at the end. The only bosses that count are the final bosses of the EAZ and the prismatic Taken boss that spawns every 1 to 2 minutes. So to farm this, you can completely ignore the mini bosses and just wait around for the prismatic Taken boss to spawn, waiting to make sure your teammates get a shot on it and then kill it. One method to farm this could be to simply never finish an EAZ and just keep farming the Taken bosses over and over. However, there's a lot of waiting involved. Instead, we did a mixture of farming the Taken bosses and killing the final bosses for maximum progress. Firstly, to get fast at farming the Taken bosses, I'll teach you each of the areas they can spawn in. You can tell where it spawned based on the description. The possible locations are the factory, the garage, the mall, the ruin, and the town. This handy map was linked to me by someone from chat. I will leave a link to it in the description. Credit on the image is for Redhead Hippo on Reddit. In each location there are normally 2 different spawns, so I'm going to show you where I stood and the path I'd take to get to each location and where the different spawns are. Getting to these quickly is key to farming these fast. I would normally wait for the spawn on top of the mall building. This is good because there are quick ways of getting to most of the spawns from here. The mall spawns are either directly in front of you on the building, or you can drop down into this back door and it will be immediately on your right. The factory spawns are easy to get to from the back. You'll either see it outside of the back of the building here, or it will be inside the back door. To get to the garage, you'll just need to take the teleporter behind you. This will drop you on top of the garage. The spawn is either right here or down in the street below. To get to the ruins, you run over the top of the factory, and it's either in a broken building out on the right, or if it's not there, keep running across the factory and will be immediately on the other side. The town has 2 different spawns. First one will either be on the rooftop, or if it isn't here, you will just keep running forward and it will be inside a building on the ground. You'll normally get 2 prismatic Taken spawns before the timer runs out and the final boss spawns. There are different final bosses depending on the type of enemies you have. If it's Fallen, we would just relaunch the EAZ. There's only one Fallen boss, and when the server splits up into lots of small ones, all of the smaller versions only count as mini bosses or less, so they don't count for this triumph. Therefore, we didn't bother doing any of the Fallen runs. The easy way to tell which type of enemy you have is this. If you load into the EAZ and it's daytime, you've got Cabal. If it's dusk or sunset, then it's Fallen, and if it's nighttime, it's Hive. So if you see sunset, we will just relaunch. The Hive boss is either the giant ogre from Escalation Protocol, or the Broodhold Strike boss. The ogre only counts for 1 boss kill, which is bad, but the Broodhold Strike boss splits up into multiple bosses which each count. If you kill the shade versions first before pushing the phases, you can get up to 3 boss kills here. Cabal are the best though. You either get 2 or 3 bosses. The way we would kill the bosses would be to melt them and leave one alive with a small amount of health. At this point you normally get a 3rd prismatic Taken spawn, so you can quickly go kill this spawn before finishing off the last boss. We didn't bother going to pick up all of the chests and just relaunch the next EAZ. If you care about the chests, you can go pick them up for the loot. It will obviously just take longer. In a good run, you are getting 3 Taken bosses and hopefully 3 EAZ final bosses, so a total of 6 per run. It would take about 2 to 2.5 hours to farm this, by the way, which I know is long, but just imagine how long it would take if you only killed the final bosses. There was a strat last year where you could leave a Cabal alive and farm the Cabal Engineer, but unfortunately this is a mini boss so it doesn't count for the Triumph this year. So to summarise, load into the EAZ. If it's dusk or sunset, relaunch. Otherwise wait at the top of the mall for the prismatic taken spawns and kill them. There should be 2. When the final EAZ boss spawns, kill all except one and leave it weak. Then the third taken boss should spawn, kill that, and then finish the EAZ final boss. Then immediately relaunch and do it all again. Happy farming, Guardians. Just remember to make sure you're doing it on Prism Day or it won't count. Prism Day is every 4 days, so you'll have a total of 6 chances to get this done. It'll be less by the time you're watching this. I'm going to let the rest of the footage play out so you can see the full completed run. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Bye.